What? Did we just become best friends?
Yeah!
One is a t-shirt queen, and the other is an SEO and web developing ninja. And both of these squirrels are a little nuts. You're now listening to the More Gooder Ideas podcast, a show for the small business hustlers worldwide, encouraging you to be your most authentic self. This is the place where your whole story matters. Come for the tips and stay for the fun. Now, your hosts, Angie Patterson and Jay Smith.
Well, it still likes us.
Okay, it's recording now.
Yay, we're here. We had no technical difficulties today.
Yes. So, as is often happens because I'm the computer guy, people seem to think that because computers can create just about anything out of magic, that because I am the most computer capable among them, if they want something or something isn't working, somehow I can make it happen regardless of what it is.
You just proved that theory correct to me.
That's the poison of it, is I always do figure out a way, so it further reinforces this idea that you literally can do any, and then people take it further and they have these ideas in their head of this brilliant app they want to build, or this, why can't we just have vacuums that also feed the cat, or whatever, and they're like, hey, make this. And I'm like, hey, is anybody asking for that? Yeah, it's a great idea. It's like Uber for plumbers. Like, fuck. Yeah. I mean, so yes, ideas are very easy to come by.
Sometimes you should keep them to yourself.
I mean, it's great to have ideas. But because you think something's a great idea does not mean there's a market for it. And there's a whole lot of hard work that goes into actually building a viable product that people want to buy.
Way to turn this technical difficulty into a learning lesson. I'm proud of you. Because I really thought you were going to break one of the cameras before we got to go.
We were close. And because they're mounted on this 5-foot tall tripod, it's they're very breakable, very swingable. They're heavier on the end, like kind of some kind of scepter. So it would be very easy to slam it into the pole over there and shatter it into a million pieces, but that wouldn't serve anybody.
Anywho,
welcome back to More Gooder Ideas podcast.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great now, in the thick of things.
Okay, me too. I'm fine.
Cool.
Tired.
Okay.
Weather's gloomy here today.
Little overcast, yeah, a little rainy.
So, lost my license plate. Talked about that already. So
it wasn't your license plate, though. It was,
but not the
sticker.
Plate, but all the information is on a sticker.
Okay.
So the license plate is blank.
Oh, really? Oh, so the license plate itself in Indiana is a decal. The whole thing.
Yeah, I think it has some kind of like the driver's license. I think there's something about like how it reflects or something like that.
Okay.
To where you
like the hologram kind of thing.
So you couldn't, like make a fake one and put it on the back of your car, I think.
Okay.
So the plate is there, but all of the information off of the plate is gone.
Cool. You escaped the matrix.
Yeah,
you made it out.
I guess.
Yeah, you're off the grid
until I get pulled over.
Yeah, you just need to put a sign in your back window like license plate blew off.
I'm on my way to the DMV.
Yeah.
Please
seriously.
don't pull me over.
I mean, honestly, if a police officer sees that, they're like, do I really want to mess with this person? I don't know. Just saying. Of course, you also pull the, oh my gosh, when did that happen?
What? My license plate is gone.
Right. Now you only get that once. You get that one time because it goes in their magic computer, and the next time they pull you over, it's like, man, you did that last month.
The DMV where I live is actually like not that bad. All the times I've been there.
I've never had an issue with the DMV, really.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the people on the same side of the counter as me.
Right.
All of the humanity in the DMV that's there for the same purpose as me, I could do without.
Questionable. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
Let's jump into it.
Let's jump into it. So, what are we doing?
You said you had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So the other morning, and most men who are married or have been married, like myself a few times, they will jive with this. So Susan, my wife, I think it was Saturday. It was a weekend day because we were up running around. And she said, I woke up mad at you. I was like,
Oh, no.
what did I do in your dream? Because I didn't do anything the night before. So it had to have been something that occurred between us going to bed and us waking up. And I know because I sleep like I'm dead, I couldn't have actually done something.
I hope not.
Like, you cannot wake me up. I am functionally deceased.
Must be nice.
It is somewhat, and except when I wake up and find out I'm in trouble for God knows what.
Yikes.
And I'm not a dreamer. I mean, I know functionally everyone dreams, but I never remember them. They're very fleeting. If I do remember it, they're not like horror dreams. They're not romantic dreams. They're just stupid. Like, I'm looking for this person and I can never find them for like 45 minutes of a dream.
I hate that.
Right. That's how bad my dreams are. And I never remember them anyway. So I said, okay, lay it on me. I said, this ought to be great. What did I do? So she said, I don't know. We were at some sort of nighttime going out event, some kind of group thing, and we were waiting for our people to show up or whatever. And she said, I'm not even sure if it was really our family, our friends, whoever it was kind of more like a construct. She didn't know who it was. They weren't part of the story.
Dream people.
Right. But she knew it was somebody we were supposed to be meeting up with or whatever. So she, I guess, had left me. I was, as I do, just talking shit with random people, getting to know you kind of thing. Probably, she said I had had a few drinks. So, of course, I was much more sociable as I'm wont to do. So she leaves and she comes back. Again, no idea what this event is. But, we go to a lot of stuff. And she said she had met whoever it was, Cassidy, somebody. And she's coming back and she sees me sitting there with a square dancer. Like, full getup, okay. Like hee-haw, tablecloth dress, the frillies, all the stuff. And I am sitting there rubbing her calf. But she said it wasn't like a romantic type thing. It's like I was like trying to help her because she was having a cramp in her calf. And I'm like, that's funny because me having a few drinks, I'm naturally flirty like that. And that's the kind of shit I would do because my superpower is not having any awareness of doing things that should make anybody angry.
That make people grossed out.
No, pissed off. And she's like, she said, I will stab you if you are. And I said, if I'm ever massaging a square dancer at a nighttime event.
I want to know if you've ever been in any place in your life where there was square dancers.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, kind of. I mean, in like 4th grade, we did square dancing in PE.
Okay.
And then maybe younger or older than somewhere around that age, my great-grandmother was part of this social club out in Northern California called The Grange. And I believe they did square dancing.
Whoa.
And so I saw it, because we went, it's kind of like when you go to Shelbyville and you see the people that ride this horse, the prancy thing with the whatever. The horses that couldn't make it to the big leagues.
I know so exactly what you
right, the carriage thingy, whatever.
Oh, shit.
But I said, and so that got me thinking, and I said, what's really funny is now that you've said that, there's 100% chance we are going to see for the first time in 50 years an actual damn square dancer somewhere.
Oh no, it's a premonition.
No, it's the yellow car phenomenon.
Oh.
What the coaching gurus like to call the reticular activation system. Stop saying that shit. Stop it. You're not a neurobiologist. Stop saying those terms to make yourself sound super awesome and cool and smart. Okay, stop it. It's the yellow car phenomenon. That makes sense.
Or we'll call it the square dancer phenomenon now.
There you go. Because now you're going to see a damn square dancer.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There'll be square dancers everywhere.
We're going to a square dancing event after this, I think.
We might be. It's a thing. Watch, we will see it. It'll pop up in the Leo. There hasn't been a square dancing thing in Louisville in decades, and now all of a sudden
somebody invites us on Facebook.
Right, you can call it manifestation, whatever. But sure enough, I told her, I was like, there is almost 100% chance, like we're going to be at something. And I said, and what are the odds it's a nighttime event and we're together and I'm having a drink? And now all of a sudden there's a square dancer. And now add to that my need to make funny ha-has out of everything. So now I'm like, I almost feel like I need to go give this lady a calf massage in order to just full circle.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
It's Sandy, because that's me. It's
you
like,
have to hold yourself back from trying to
We'll have to leave. We have to leave. We've got to go. Like, I'll see the square dancer down in the hallway. I'm like, oh, we got to go. We got to get out of here.
I'm sorry, Susan. I'm sorry. This is your life.
It is. I'm a toddler with a big vocabulary.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
No wonder she was mad at you. I would be very upset. The second part why she's mad at you is because she knows that's what's going to happen.
No, it's because she witnessed it in her brain. She saw it happening, and she just said, "Just so you know, should that occur, I'm stabbing both of you." And in
the event that happens,
justified.
I'm warning you.
Justified.
Oh man, that's really funny. That's really funny. Those of us that do dream know that sometimes it feels, even though you know it was fake, it feels real when
Sure.
you wake up.
Yeah.
Or I have these a lot where I don't realize it's a dream. Like it'll come into my head like, oh, we just talked about this the other day, but I didn't really talk
it becomes
about
a
it.
part
It
of
was
your
a
memory
dream.
bank.
That weirds me out. Dreams are weird.
I think, listen up, men of America, because I think we're the ones who are beset upon with this whole, you never listen to me, you don't remember what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of what you're saying happens in your dreams and we never heard it.
Yeah. That is not what I was saying at all.
Thank you.
Let me
You
just clarify.
have bared light to this.
Don't
this
edit
plague.
the part out where I
I'm not
said
fucking
that's not what I meant.
editing. Why would I edit that out?
I want people to know.
They all know. They knew. They saw it.
Whatever, Jay. Don't make me man bash you.
I go for it. What is it? Wednesday?
I think you're magical, Jay. I told you already today. You got these cameras to work.
Brings up another good, stupid thing that sticks in my head my entire life. Because I was a big comic book fan as a kid.
Okay.
Big time. X-Men, Spider-Man, all that stuff. I was really into it. And it was before comic books were cool. Like you were a dork if you like comic books. Sorry. If you like.
Nerd.
Yep. And if you're my age and you say different, liar. 100%. If you hung out at the comic book shop in the 80s and 90s, you were a dork.
Haven't
Sorry.
you seen Lost Boys?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Corey and Corey.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've always thought like, okay, yes, all these backstories, like, you got bit by a radioactive spider, you got hit by lightning, whatever. Everybody always ends up with really cool, really useful, functional powers. Why?
Why doesn't that happen in real life?
No, why are all of these powers good and cool and awesome and powerful? Why wouldn't I just get the power of looking at a can of beans and it opens and that's it? That's the end of my powers.
That would be a pretty cool power.
Would it? Would the Justice League be calling me? Like, hey, we got a special one.
We need the can opener.
Right. Like, my superpower is like just being able to create Pokemon names at a whim.
That's a great idea for a comic book, is like all the
It's probably
reject
happened.
people, like all the people that also got bit by the spider but didn't,
Right.
they only got
Like you can smell farts throughout the building.
sticky palms. Yeah.
Yeah.
My palms are sticky all the time
Yeah.
now, and it has no use to me at all.
Right. So it leads to a larger discussion. And comic books have done a good job of creating these outer realms, more like a heaven, with people who are intentionally applying things in multiverse and all that.
Okay.
But before, honestly, like if everybody has all these great powers and nobody has dumb shit powers, there must be some intentionality behind it. Because if I'm able at a whim to bend any kind of metal on Earth, that's pretty awesome and pretty powerful. If I'm able on a whim to only affect styrofoam,
Which is being outlawed now.
You can kind of figure stuff to do with that. Maybe like you could be a really good insulation company or something, or you could clean up all of the litter. But after that, it's like
lame. Nobody cares about that.
right. Or back in the 80s, you would have been like McDonald's #1 go-to person because you could have worked all their clamshells for them. But
Oh, the good old days.
yeah, so that's another stupid thing that occupies the gray matter in my head is like, why are superpowers all that awesome?
I mean, that's way better than the things that go through my head. So I'm impressed that yours are that interesting.
I imagine a calliope. Like,
It's just like little wiener dogs doing tricks in my head.
That's cool. That's awesome.
But it's the Barney Hill theme song instead.
Who?
Barney Hill.
Benny Hill?
Oh, yeah.
man.
That's my point exactly.
That was a turning point in our relationship right
Oh,
there. Okay.
I'm tired, Jay.
What else we got going on? You said you had some more kind of stuff from the vendor events.
Yeah, since the last time we recorded.
Because we're not going to be able to draw out this bullshit we've been doing for 15 minutes much longer.
I mean, if we want to talk about dreams some more, but isn't that like a trope that nobody wants to hear about other people's dreams?
I doubt that. I mean, there's entire sections at Barnes & Noble full of horseshit books on how to interpret your dreams. Made up nonsense. I'm sorry.
Oh, I would love to go to one of those people that you write all your dreams down and then they analyze it for you and tell you what it all means.
And they're like, what the fuck, man? What are you eating?
She's having a lot of dreams about wiener dogs doing tricks.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Oh, Jay, you're making me laugh so hard.
That's the point.
I've done 2 vendor events since the last time we recorded.
Okay.
I do have a tip. I think I talked about this a little bit in the last couple episodes, but I went out on a limb and I did an event that was new.
Okay.
The people had put on other events similar, so I felt confident, but we had a really good time and there was a really good show out. And I, from what I can gather, did on the higher end of some of the vendors as far as sales and stuff go.
But it wasn't your usual, I'm getting.
No, it was on a Sunday. So I think that's a little bit of
Well, you started this almost like you were foreshadowing a bad thing because you didn't vet.
No, well, I think that because I did my research, I made the right decision to do it.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have maybe done an event that this was like the first one.
Oh, okay.
Because do they really know what they're doing?
Sure.
Or is there going to be a good show out? But the people had done other similar events, so that gave me a little bit of confidence that they knew what they were doing. And it was on a Sunday, so it was a little bit slower pace than
Sure.
maybe a Saturday because people have already had the rest of the weekend to rip and tear or do whatever they do. But we did really good, and
Cool.
it was fun. We tried some different booth configurations
Okay.
based on our
Experimentation?
Yes, and
Like an H, like an X, a Q.
tried turning. I tried making a U, but instead of the U, like if this is the front of the booth, instead of the U going like this, we did it like this. It didn't work, but we tried
Okay.
it.
Like a side, like a C? Or
Yeah, like a
Okay.
C.
Okay.
And yeah, just based on our conversations from the last couple podcasts, I tried to, think about some of the things we talked about. It's easier said than done, right? To get up here and be like, this is what you should be doing all the time, and this is what's successful. So I tried to keep the things we talked about in mind and play around with some things.
Okay.
And the week before that was our friendiversary.
Yes.
And where we met.
The
Schnitzelberg.
Schnitzelberg, yeah.
Schnitzelberg.
Yeah, we were commenting during that there was a large festival in Bardstown. What I didn't realize was Bourbon and Beyond was also that weekend. Mm-hmm. So that's a big draw. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big time draw off of people who would come to that. And I did notice by the afternoon when we left, there were a whole lot more actual neighborhood people walking in from their actual houses as opposed to people who had parked and were coming in. But the parking was still, because I had parked like 3 blocks away when we got there, it was still packed. So,
Nice.
yeah, I think it was a very well attended event. I think next year will be probably even bigger.
I think so too.
Although I don't know if the Bourbon and Beyond overall was a negative impact to the overall show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't really thought about it until just now, so I don't know if my mind will change as I think about it more. But Schnitzelberg Walk is a free event. Like, they have stuff for sale, obviously, but versus having to buy a ticket.
Right.
So people are planning on going to an event like Bourbon and Beyond, which is a music festival in Louisville. If you're not familiar, you got to buy your ticket. I'm not going to say they're outrageous, but it's,
it's
a price to go see several for a festival. And a lot of people, fly by the seat of their pants too on the weekends. They are going to wake up that morning and figure out what they're going to go
we do that a lot.
Right. So I think that plays to the benefit of those little festivals and vendor events. Even when there's other things going on in the city, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to draw a crowd.
Okay. Cool.
That's an interesting point, Jay. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, we were popping. Like,
Yeah.
it was a blur to me. We were so busy all day.
I think we unintentionally and for the better tainted results.
We, as in you and Susan and Cassidy?
Yes.
Okay. Because you pumped me up?
Also because so it was very fortunate because the guy from Nashville with that booth and you, there was actually almost a booth space between you on the sidewalk in the shade. So there was room between you, unlike most of the other booths all the way down. And so we were posted up right there drinking beer. And then we became like the guys from the Muppets up in the balcony. When people would walk in, like, hey, you should go get that shirt. You know, we were.
At one point, I was talking to a customer and I turned around and Cassidy was inside my booth selling things to another customer. I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah, she got the one young lady who I think bought one of your sweatshirts, hoodies. It was towards the end there. She had the bright red tattoo. I can't remember what it was. It was a label of something on her forearm. And her beau were kind of just walking through. And at first they just kind of, oh yeah. And then they were walking their way in. And Cassidy kind of like, because I think she saw something on the rack and she was pointing it out. And I said something or Cassie said something. So we basically goaded her into going and looking more.
You bullied her.
I did.
Into coming into my booth.
Kind of, yeah. Because I think she said something about the Make It Great Again, the Britney T-shirt. And I said, you should check out the rest of that stuff. It's awesome. So, you know, her boyfriend stopped and she went back and looked a little more. And then Cassidy worked her way around the back of that table and she was like on them because you were on the other corner with those other guests. So,
That's amazing.
so I was like trying to get your attention just so I could like non-verbally, like, I did that. Like we did that.
I had a customer, you witnessed it, a customer who left my booth, walked all the way to the end, and then came back to my booth to buy something, which we talked about how rare that is to happen, that somebody will see something they like and then come back and not buy it instantly. So I was really proud of that.
I think that particular festival is well suited for that, though, because it's one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
So it's a straight line as opposed to like what we were talking about at the Big Four where it's just all.
You don't even know where it is that you saw
right.
what you wanted.
There's 100 ways in and out. So I think that kind of lends itself to, because even Susan was doing that and Cassidy, they're like, all right, well, I'll catch this on the way back. I want to see everything, even though they were buying everything at every stop on the way down. And then
That's why I love them.
on the way back. Oh yeah. But for whatever reason, Cassidy wouldn't take a baggie from anybody at the first several. So she's holding all this shit. And I'm finally like, would you just buy something so you can get a damn bag? Like sticker, you know, because stickers, like your thumb will slip on it and it's just this pile of stuff. And it's like, get a bag. It's okay.
Cassidy is now our third invisible co-host. If anybody hasn't picked up yet.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get her on here.
You can't see her, but she's here. Another way that you guys helped me is by bringing some fun to it, because me and my husband both had such a fun day that day. Partly because we got to see our friends and spend time with our friends.
And we were drinking.
We were drinking and eating. Several of my vendor friends were there too.
I met some people I did not know who were listeners of the show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And so that was fun because we could visit as we had a chance and talk about how we were doing. And you brought me a cookie.
Did I?
So, yes. You called it something else, though. It wasn't like it reminded me of a brookie, but it didn't have brownie.
Oh, that was from Bay's.
Yeah.
That was the cookie cake that they make with the doodle bob on it.
I think for me personally, and probably lots of other people, when you are having fun, it makes doing your job easier.
Oh, yeah.
So whether it be in a traditional workplace or, you know, if you are an entrepreneur, I think it makes you work better. And if you're having fun, your customers or your guests are going to have more fun too. And so I think that was a real benefit to me, not only personally because I had a great time, but also in sales wise.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, that makes perfect sense. It's like, duh.
Yeah. And we were having a good time. So, like, I think that helps draw people in because, you know, they don't know who you are to me. As far as you know, we're strangers and we're having a great time. So, oh, puppy. So maybe they want to come in and be part of the good time.
Yeah.
I had my husband get there. I think he might have been the first person there.
Yeah, he said he was.
And I said, upgrade us to a corner spot. I said, we're not having no bottlenecks in this bitch today. Hey, I want to be able to pack as many people as we possibly can into this booth. Mm-hmm. And then, so we were on the end. So we had one side basically with no barriers on the other side. So we were able to get more people in to shop at one time, which also makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Cool.
So, yeah, have fun when you're out doing stuff. It'll help. So I think sometimes I'll come up with an idea or I'll think this particular item is selling really well. But after 6, 7, 8 hours of selling and then packing everything back up, hauling it all back home, I think some of that leaves your mind you don't really remember. Yeah. So I've been really trying to take notes at these shows. What's selling? What are people talking about? Things that I need. Like I need a new tablecloth. I've known for 3 weeks I needed a new tablecloth, but I never wrote it down. Therefore, no new tablecloth. I don't think about it until I'm unpacking it the next week. So another tip for anybody doing events like that. Take notes. You think you're going to remember at 11 a.m. that morning when you start, but you're not going to.
Sure. All right. Well, we can probably wrap this one up.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Jay.
Thanks for listening to More Gooder Ideas.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the More Gooder Podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at More Gooder Ideas and search us up on Facebook, the More Gooder Ideas Podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode.